So good evening and welcome to the webinar. My name is Julie Boye and I'm the founder of the 30-Day Whole Body Detox in its 5th edition this year already. It's incredible how amazingly popular this program has been and how quickly it's grown. And I know you're all excited for our guest speaker, Linda Heredia. She will be speaking in just a few minutes. I'm going to give you a brief overview of what our program is all about so that you understand going into Linda's presentation why we want to take such good care of our liver. Okay, so the program is a whole food detox that will nourish your body at the cellular level. And we actually have a website you can take a peek at. It's 30daywholebodydetox.com if you'd like more detail, but I'll give you a brief overview now. So as I said, I'm the founder of the program. And I like sharing this picture because it shows how in 2014, it was the hardest year for my family and I. We had a really rough year in many ways, but that winter, if you might remember, was one of the coldest winters we've ever had. And I found solace in sugar, and I was addicted to eating those little candy eggs. They're Hershey's Eggies, look like Cadbury's mini eggs, but they taste even better. Anyways, I was eating like a 200-gram bag of these almost every night, like a $5 bag. Sometimes they were on special. It was insane. I was totally addicted. It was ridiculous how addicted I was to the sugar. And that's me in March. We had a huge event for the detox, and I was so unwell because I was so addicted to sugar and I had no idea. It took me 2 weeks into the program that year to actually start to feel like myself again and to actually get out from under the fog that I had been in because I was addicted to sugar. And it's crazy. It's my own program. It was my 4th year doing it, or my 3rd year doing it, and here I was completely addicted to sugar. Definitely not a cleanse in a box program. It is a lifestyle program. And if you're thinking about whether you need to do this program or not, we're kind of getting to the end of detox season. So we started these webinars 5 weeks ago, actually, and we actually had a number of people who started. Most people are sort of wrapping up their detox. It gets harder and harder to do the colder it gets. So you might not want to do this program right now. We have a 7-day program that whoever invited you to watch this webinar can always tell you about if that's something you'd like to do right now. But when you're looking at a detox, if you have digestive issues, if you're feeling bloated, for sure, if you get sick a lot, if you have low energy, and Linda's going to talk about energy, which is great. If you've got unwanted pounds, you just can't lose those last few pounds, you feel like you're walking around in a brain fog, or you've got a lack of motivation. All of these could be signs that you need a healthy whole food detox. So the benefits of this program are that you do lose weight. It is a side effect of the program. Although it's not a weight loss program, you will lose some weight. That's anywhere from 2 to 13 pounds, depending on your own personal body and your own goals as well. You'll be reducing inflammation because you're eating anti-inflammatory foods. Your skin will be much clearer and radiant. It will improve your mental clarity. You will sleep better. Your digestion will improve. You will have optimal cellular nutrition, and you will have a massive energy boost. Sounds like a great program, right? So what is this all about? So here's what you're avoiding during the program. And it seems like a lot, but the good news is there's tons of stuff you can eat. So there is no gluten, wheat, or dairy products on the program. We also suggest, you're supposed to cut out caffeine. Not everyone does, but let me tell you, that's the biggest thing for a lot of people is cutting out the caffeine and alcohol for 30 days to give your liver a break, which Linda will address. We limit red meat. We actually advise you on how to choose meat. We have a great new section in our guidebook about that. As for sugar, definitely no refined sugar. Almost no refined sugar. I should say there's a few recipes in the dessert section that are superfood recipes that use dark chocolate. So dark chocolate does have a bit of added sugar, but the benefits of the antioxidants from the dark chocolate sort of help weigh that out. And then during the program, what you can include is pretty much any fruit and vegetable that you choose. We enjoy a lot of healthy fats from nuts, seeds, avocados, from fish like salmon, chicken, turkey, all of these. There's so many good recipes. You will never run out of things to do. And what do you get as with this program? Well, the biggest thing is that you get a 100+ page guidebook that has over 85 recipes that not only have I created them, Linda actually created, I think at least a dozen of them herself as well. And then we have different contributors for each section. We have juicing experts. We have Kelly and Aaron from Kelly's Bake Shop, who actually launched their own beautiful cookbook called Made with Love. There's so many incredible contributors. And then the second part is the supplement support. And this is not to be overlooked because it's actually a really, really important part of our program. And I'm not going to go through all of the supplements separately tonight. I'm just going to mention the fact that we have chosen USANA Health Sciences as our product partner for supplements. And one of the big reasons is that USANA has an exclusive technology called Intelligence. And it actually works to help your cells' innate intelligence do what your body is supposed to do, but on a much higher level. So basically, it signals your cells to create more antioxidants. It signals your cells to help recycle and replenish the energy supply in our cells. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's only available with USANA, and it's in 3 of the bottles that you see in the program are the minerals, the antioxidants, and the HEPA Plus liver support are all featuring this new intelligence technology. You get expert support. We have a Facebook group where all of these experts can be found, and we're attracting more and more experts every year. It's so great. This program has been growing, and we're attracting just so many incredible people with different passions every single year that have so much background in health and nutrition. So as I said, the guidebook does have 85 recipes. There's 11 different chapters, a great soup recipe for the fall. I made the chili from the book this week. Oh my gosh, it's so delicious. It's a chili and you can add quinoa to it, so it really feels like a hearty meal. And then tonight I had it over half of a sweet potato. It was to die for. It was so delicious. There are detox tips for the all year. So whether you're doing the spring, summer, or fall, spring is the best time to do the full program. But like I said, you can always do a mini version right now. And then there's over 25 pages of detox info and tips. Bonuses include menu plans, grocery lists, tip for eating out, juicing with a blender, so you don't need to buy a juicer. Juicing is optional, but if you want to juice, I juice once a year during the detox, and then it lasts for about 2 or 3 months after, and then I sort of get off the juicing train. Your weekly prep sheet and your pre and post detox checklist. We have a private Facebook group for support, as I mentioned, and you do get a personal program coach. So visit our website. You can actually order directly from our website. If someone referred you to the program, please indicate who referred you to the program, and we'll get your information directly to them so that they can enroll you as a customer in USANA for the product part of it, and then send you via email all the bonuses. So like I said, we had a post-Thanksgiving start, but and those people are wrapping up in a couple weeks. So okay, that's the end of my presentation. So Linda, if you want to.
Hi, everyone. I'm going to just pop open.
Yeah, making you a host. There you go.
Oh, perfect. Amazing.
So I just want to say that Linda partnered with us. You can go ahead and share your screen while I'm
okay, perfect. I'll grab that.
You have control. So Linda was introduced to me in 2014, right? And right away, I knew she was a perfect partner for this. So she has been an amazing contributor to this program for all these years. She adds so much value. I'm sure she'll tell you her story, but she has just been amazing, amazing asset to this program. And I'm so excited to have her speaking tonight. So I'll let her take over.
Thank you so much, Julie. Welcome, everyone. I'm really excited and honored to be here. And I can't believe how much Julie has really grown this program. It's absolutely incredible, everything that you will be getting in this. I'm going to take you through some of my favorite topics tonight about loving your liver and how to energetically detox your life and your home as well. Before I do, I'll tell you a little bit about my background for those of you who don't know me and those of you who haven't yet had the pleasure of meeting. My name is Linda Heredia. I am a registered holistic nutritionist, a Reiki master, a certified coach practitioner, and for me, wellness has been a passion of mine that sparked at a really young age. When I was 9, my father was diagnosed with stage 3, bordering stage 4 colon cancer. We just celebrated his 70th, soon almost 71st birthday will be coming up next year, birthday. And so for me, wellness, whole foods, nutrition, supplementation, energy, lifestyle, all of this has been something that has been a core value to me, and it's what really led me to pursue a career in the holistic health industry. So tonight, what I'm going to really share with you, we're going to cover 3 things. A little bit of a recap on what is detox. I won't go too much into it because I know you did in the previous series. Why it's time to love your liver and how you can love your liver and why that's so important and how to energetically unload. So talking a little bit about what is detoxification. So this is a natural process that happens in our bodies every single day. This is simply, you can think of it as the body neutralizing and eliminating toxins and just clearing and filtering waste products. So this is one of my favorite images to show you a little bit about today's reality. So today's reality, I live here in Toronto. Depending on where you're joining us from around the globe, if you live in even a small city, medium city, large city, you're likely facing all of these toxins every single day. So this includes not only external toxins like pesticides, chemicals, maybe fast-paced lifestyle, poor diet, GMO foods, to internal toxins from our own emotional and mental stress. For example, for myself, unfortunately, living in Toronto, I step outside the door and there's immediate air pollution. And I have a toddler and I'm chasing him a lot. There's a little bit of a fast-paced lifestyle. So these are toxins and stressors that we are facing every single day. And it's something that we unfortunately cannot avoid. And so what happens is if you look at the bottom, these 3 images down here, you can really see what these toxins do to our cells and why it's really important to support our body in the detoxification process. So on the left, you've got a healthy cell culture. When exposed to these toxins, which we cannot avoid in today's reality, they create this oxidative damage. And that's where you're seeing on the right-hand side, that cell culture of our cells. Instead of being these pretty circular cells, they're starting to clump together, get squished, get clogged up. So the key players when it comes to detoxification and helping our bodies to really counteract the effects of what you just saw: liver, skin, digestive system, bowels, lymphatic system, lungs, kidneys. These are all some of the key players in helping your body to naturally detox. So the question you want to really ask yourself is, you want to really look at how toxic you are. So while the body has the natural ability to actually neutralize and eliminate toxins, what's happening and what's been happening for decades is that we step out into our external environment. We've got this internal stress that's creating a toxic load that is so high that our body's natural mechanism just actually can't keep up. This is why programs like the 30-day Whole Body Detox and what I'm going to share with you tonight about how you can love your liver and how you can energetically unload, this is why it's so important, because we need to really support our system and be able to catch up and keep up with all of what it's being bombarded with. So if you want to really ask yourself how toxic you are on the toxic scale, there's actually a workshop I used to teach about, it's called Holistic Detox, where I gave everybody a quiz. But a really simple way is to look at, to see if you have any of these symptoms. Do you experience any mood swings, constipation, bad breath, weight gain, muscle pains, headaches, migraines, constant fatigue? These might seem like things that you may be brushing off, but oftentimes it's really interesting when I deal with clients is if we go through a whole body program to detox the system and really support those organs that are the key players, all of these symptoms or most of these symptoms will actually clear within the 30 days. Just as Julie was mentioning, people have experienced energy and skin radiance and weight loss and so on and so forth. So you don't have to share that with any of us, but just to ask yourself, are you experiencing any of these symptoms? If so, then a whole body detox program may be right for you. So now it's time to really dive into the liver. So I am absolutely obsessed with supporting the liver when it comes to the detox program. Why? Because your liver actually performs over 300 functions. You can't survive without it. You cannot survive without it. The good news is it does regenerate itself. This might take over 7 years to do. So what's actually interesting though is you can actually erase the damage. So if you have a fatty liver, or if you feel like, oh my gosh, I don't know if my liver can be helped, you actually can erase damage done to it with the proper program, the proper diligence over several years. So to list some of the important functions, your liver is responsible and involved in blood clotting. It's involved in cholesterol, in immunity, in hormone regulation, in bile production. It's involved in nutrient storage, in actually blood sugar regulation. Your liver is also known as the fat burning organ. So if I am working with a client and they might be doing diet perfectly, lifestyle perfectly, exercise perfectly, but they can't seem to lose those last 5 to 10 pounds, I often will see it tied back to liver. Also really great, as it says hormone regulation, but anyone who has been dealing with PCOS, endometriosis, anything like that, again, supporting the liver can do wonders. Without getting into the full-on science of this, I want to just show you in a really basic way the detox pathways of your liver. So essentially the simplest way to think of this is your liver goes through 2 phases, where in the first phase, it's basically taking all of the toxins that we're being bombarded with that you saw previously in the slide, and it's actually helping to convert it into a waste matter that can be eliminated through urine, through bile, through stool. The reason I want to show this diagram to you is I want you to just take note of the nutrients that are needed at the bottom. So vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, folic acid, glutathione, flavonoids. These are nutrients that are needed to actually allow phase 1 to take place appropriately. If you look at the nutrients needed for phase 2, vitamin C, folic acid again, glutamine, taurine, magnesium, cysteine. These are just some of the nutrients that are actually needed in order for your body to be able to take these toxins that have been now converted and then actually turn them from something that was fat-soluble toxin to a water-soluble waste. This is super, super crucial. And one of the reasons why I'm really excited that this program not only gives you all of the recipes and of course your shopping list and the foods, but it also incorporates supplementation. I'm going to share a couple with you in this presentation, is because if you don't have adequate levels of these nutrients, this process cannot take place appropriately, and toxins can actually build in the system. So one of the products that are included are the Essentials. The reason this is one of my favorites is because if you wanted to actually get the amount of B vitamins that would be needed for your liver to go through phase 1, phase 2, and to then eliminate it as waste appropriately, you would be needing to consume about 22,000 calories a day. So that would be like 30 pounds of spinach, 20 pounds of almonds. It might include 80 medium bananas. So this absolutely may be mind-blowing if you're hearing it for the first time, but what I like to educate my clients on is the fact that the reason being is if we were living in 1940, there'd be no need to supplement. You would get everything that you need through food. Unfortunately, because of farming practices, of soil depletions, our food is not as nutrient dense as it once was when it comes to vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, these micronutrients. These micronutrients are what your cells need to go through that detoxification process. So it's really important to still consume everything that we recommend in the food guidelines, but to also bridge that nutrient gap. So these products here, the Essentials, are going to actually, if I go back a slide, going to be able to provide you with the nutrients needed at the levels that you need for this pathway to take place. The other thing I want to mention, especially when it comes to detox, is one of the reasons why we chose USANA Health Sciences in this program, and this was spoken about before, so I won't go into too much detail, but I do want to highlight this one thing, is when you do choose to supplement, a healthy whole foods diet, you are looking at supplementation, and a product can really be manufactured in one of two ways. It can be manufactured in food grade manufacturing standards or pharmaceutical grade manufacturing standards. If a product is manufactured at a food grade standard, only 20% of what's on the label is required to be in the bottle. If a product is manufactured pharmaceutical grade, which USANA is, 100% of what's on the bottle is exactly, and on the label is exactly in the bottle. There is no guessing. There's no gray area. It also guarantees that it will disintegrate into your cells within less than 20 minutes. So the reason this is so important is when you're trying to relieve stress on the body and try to actually enhance the detoxification process, you want to ensure that you're not putting in any toxins through your supplements. If a product is food grade, because only 20% of what's on the label is required to be in the bottle, you may not be getting exactly what you think you're getting. So Helen Branswell, who is a reporter here in Canada for the Canadian Press, she actually went around health food store shelves here in Toronto a couple of years ago, pulled products off of those store shelves, and I had clients coming to me because some of those products, they were seeing that 73% of it was ragweed, or some of it had rice flour instead of protein powder. So it's really important that you know that what you're getting is what you're getting, and that you can feel absolutely confident in the quality of what you're ingesting. So when it does come to detoxification, and especially supporting the liver, you don't want to add any additional burden. So that's another reason why I'm absolutely in love as a practitioner with USANA Health Sciences quality, because they go above and beyond in terms of ensuring that bioavailability, that potency, and that purity. Now, going into some foods, on the left, we have what we call liver loaders, and on the right, liver lovers. So these are just some of the key nutrients that you want to focus on in this program. So on the left, liver loaders are things that we want to eliminate, or at least minimize to the best of our ability, because this is going to put additional stress to the liver, and it's going to really up your toxic load. So alcohol, trans fats, caffeine, processed foods, pesticides, nicotine, prescription medications. Obviously, I understand some medications you cannot avoid, and I'm not saying that anybody should come off of medications. Please consult a healthcare practitioner before doing anything of that. But these are just things to note, that they load the liver. So if you are on prescription medication, you're really going to want to up your liver levers and really maybe do something like this program. So liver lovers, cruciferous veggies, so like your cauliflower or your broccoli, milk thistle, which is an incredible herb, turmeric, bitter greens, onion, garlic, sprouts, beets, lemon. One of my favorite ways to start my morning is to actually get a mug about this size. This is actually just a rooibos tea right now, but a mug this size, and fill it up with warm water and squeeze half of a fresh lemon first thing in the morning. You can have a glass of water, have this, and then wait about 15 to 20 minutes before eating breakfast, because this is actually going to constrict the gallbladder to allow the liver to release toxins. So throughout the whole night, we are producing toxins, our body's going through a detoxification actually when we sleep. So you kind of wake up and you want to just give that liver a little bit more of a boost. Hepasil, this is a product that's included in the program. This is one of my absolute favorites for liver loving, because it includes milk thistle, which I mentioned earlier, which is an herb that has the strongest action on the liver. So this is going to really, really enhance and support liver health. It's absolutely one of my favorites. And it also includes the intelligence technology that Julie was mentioning. So that wraps up my liver loving portion. I'm going to dive into the energetic detox now. I know I've got maybe 6 minutes left, so I'm going to kind of go through this as quickly as I can. So energetic detox, let me just go back a moment. The reason I'm mentioning this and why it's so important is not only am I a registered holistic nutritionist, but I'm also a Reiki master. And I often see how energy can really weigh a person down. So it's as important as it is to do the nutritional portion. It's also, oh, thank you, Julie. It's also just as important to do the energetic detox. So in terms of energy, these are just some symptoms that really are going to show you if you're in an energetic overload. So just like I shared with you earlier, symptoms for if you are in a toxic overload, these are ones you can look at for energetic overload. So cognitive symptoms, for example, memory problems, inability to concentrate, poor judgment, seeing only the negative, having anxious, racing thoughts, constant worrying. Physical symptoms that you might be energetically overloaded: aches and pains, nausea, dizziness, chest pains, rapid heartbeat, low libido, frequent colds. Emotional symptoms: moodiness, irritability, short temper, agitation, inability to concentrate, feeling overwhelmed, a sense of loneliness and isolation, depression or general unhappiness. And behavioral symptoms: eating more or eating less, sleeping too much, sleeping too little, having nervous habits like nail biting, procrastinating, neglecting, or using alcohol, cigarettes, or drugs for the purpose of relaxing. I just want to go back for a moment, actually. I don't want to overwhelm you with these symptoms. I just want you to make note that if you are experiencing them, of course there may be other root issues, but it also may be pointing toward an energetic overload. Common causes of this energetic overload. There's two categories. There's external and there's internal. The external causes could be like major life changes. So maybe there's changes in your work environment, buying a home, getting married, financial problems, being too busy. I'm a mom to a 20-month-old. And, when I became a new mom, that was a huge energetic overload for me, just to go through what it was like to lose a little bit of sleep and just the whole new changes of being a new mom. Internal causes of energetic overload, these are ones that we generate ourselves. So the inability to accept uncertainty, being pessimistic, having negative self-talk, having unrealistic expectations, being a perfectionist, having that lack of assertiveness. So sometimes if we're always a yes person, it can actually cause energetic overload if we cannot set up the boundary to really be able to say no when it does not serve us. The reason I also want to point out this energetic overload and lack of assertiveness is I definitely have struggled and still work on the people pleaser side of me. And what ends up happening, and what I've learned through my own experiences through working with so many different clients over the years, is that if you are always saying yes, and you don't want to say no because you don't want to disappoint, you actually are really depleting yourself energetically. And when you are putting yourself in that state of depletion, you cannot really serve if your cup is half empty. So if you are doing it because you want to be of service to someone, just keep in mind that you are not able to serve to the best of your abilities if you are running half empty. So I'm going to give you some tips now. And the first tip, we're going to go through 3 areas. I'm going to take you through your home, so your environment, so it could be home or work. I'm going to take you through tips on clearing the chaos in your personal life and tips on clearing the chaos in your own mindset. So when it comes to your home and clearing the chaos, my slide is let's give it a moment. There we go. So tips on clearing your home. So every single item that you have in your home carries a charge. We may or may not realize it, but it actually holds an energetic charge. This energetic charge will impact your internal stress, your internal emotions, your internal feelings. And oftentimes you may hear people say that when they're home, this is how I actually am. If my home is in chaos, I feel stressed out. I feel internal chaos and overwhelm. So I want you to actually do an inventory of your home, and I want you to make note of, are there items in your home that are not serving you, that are weighing you down, that are adding to your stress? So the simplest way to do this, if me telling you this exercise stresses you out, it's probably a sign that it's a good exercise for you to do. Because I definitely work with some clients and they'll say to me, but I don't want to give up anything. And I'm not saying that you need to completely declutter your home, but I am saying that if you can look through the items in your home and actually either donate, sell, or recycle, or repurpose some items, you're going to feel lighter. Stress is going to go down and your energetic load is going to drop. So a simplest way to do it is you can, and this feels like a daunting task for you and you've never done this before, just take a day and pick one room. Don't try to do your entire home. You'll feel too overwhelmed. Pick a room. So I like to start with the bedroom because that's where most people sleep and that's where you want to have a zen environment. Maybe it's your family room or living room. Maybe it's the kitchen, but pick one room and just take a look and have a scan. If you are going through items and you want to know, do you keep them? Do you not? Is it serving you? Is it weighing you down? These are the categories I want you to look at. You're going to read them as keep, donate, sell, recycle, or repurpose. So these are the 5 categories to look at. And you'll go through every single room in your home. And I want you to do this. It's an amazing time to do this fall and spring. So twice a year. I promise you when you're done this exercise, you're actually going to feel emotionally lighter, energetically lighter. You're going to be able to think more clearly. You're going to be able to sleep more soundly. It's really amazing what this can do. So once you kind of go through that, there's a few more things you can do. I love to smudge. I don't know if anyone else on this webinar has smudged before, but if you are new to smudging, smudging uses different herbs. Typically, I like using Mexican white sage. So it's just one of my favorite ones. You can buy this in liquid form. You can buy this in the actual dried leaf form, which is what I like to use. And you can just have that, and without going into a whole smudging 101, you can just spray that in your home or burn that in your home, thinking of it a little bit like incense, but there's a bit more to it. That will actually clear negative energy out of the home. If you are interested in learning Feng Shui, you can buy books on that. You can see how you can set up your home so that it's most conducive. For example, if you have an ensuite bathroom in your home, water from that bathroom can actually disturb your sleep at night. So it's actually a really good idea to put wood or a plant in your bathroom to actually balance out the energy and actually have you sleep more soundly. If you have mirrors that are facing your bedroom, it's actually a great idea to put a scarf over it to cover it if that mirror faces your bed at night to sleep more soundly. So these are just some keys with Feng Shui. And then crystals are my other favorites. So I wear crystals. I actually have some on my wrist right now. I love wearing crystals because they have different healing properties. So depending on what you're feeling and what kind of energetic release you need, having crystals set up in your home to really bring the energy of what it is you desire is another incredible way to really declutter your home and clear out that toxic energy. So to recap, you're going to go through your items room to room, keep, donate, sell, recycle, or repurpose, smudge away. You want to go into Feng Shui, you're welcome to, and crystals. Now that is tip 1 for energetic unloading of your environment. Now I want to talk about energetically unloading in your personal life. In your personal life, I want you to really look at, just like we looked at with home, I want you to really take an inventory of what feels heavy. So is it a relationship that feels heavy to you? Is it something going on with work that feels heavy to you? Is there a certain situation, a certain person, a certain habit that feels really heavy to you? I want you to just take an inventory of this because I want you to then rate it. So you can sort of see the scale on the right of 1 to 5. I want you to truly and honestly just take a look at something that's been weighing on your heart, weighing on your mind, and give it a rating of 1 to 5 in terms of how heavy this feels, 5 being the most heaviest, the most painful. And I want you to ask yourself, how is this serving you? Because you are going to find that it's necessary to let things go simply for the reason that they're heavy. As I've actually been doing Reiki for 20 years. I started really young in high school. And so I've been working with energy for the past 20 years. And what I've noticed is if you can also release the things that are no longer serving you, whether, I'm not saying to ditch a relationship if it's, not necessarily serving you right away, but I'm asking you to reevaluate and to look at, are there certain patterns that you're doing? Are you a yes person to everyone? Are you running your life in certain ways that in the end you feel stressed out or burnt out? And if so, this is an amazing time to really reevaluate that. Is there another way to go about that? Because like I mentioned before, you cannot function and serve and thrive if your cup is half empty. This is obviously a bigger discussion than what I'm sharing right now, but just something that I want you to think about. And lastly, my last tip is about mindset. So Julie is not only the founder of the 30-Day Whole Body Detox, but she's also the author of an incredible book on gratitude. So I always promote that book every time I do one of these webinars. If you don't have a copy of it, Julie can put it in the chat box. I'm sure you can get that on Amazon or through her. Reach out to her. And the reason mindset is so important is if you remember back to the slides I was sharing earlier about energetic overwhelm and how some of it is external, but some of it is internal. Mindset is something that can really impact how you go about your day to day. One of my favorite equations that you can see here is E plus R equals O. This is an equation from Jack Canfield, who wrote Chicken Soup for the Soul. And amongst other incredible books. He says that E, which are the events in our life, these are things that we cannot control. So I'll give you the example of traffic jam here in Toronto for anyone else who's in Toronto. You might have two people in two different cars sitting in the exact same traffic jam. That's E. So E plus R. R is the response to that event. So you might have two people in traffic, in the exact same traffic, and you have person A in their car just freaking out. They are not sure what to do, what to say, what to think. They're just freaking out. And they're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to be late. What is my boss going to say? They're in road rage, anxiety. Then the person next to them in the exact same situation may have a different response. And they may think, I can't really do anything about this. This is totally out of my control. So I'm going to take this as a sign to just chill out, listen to some music, make a call to that friend, have some quiet time, alone time. Their response is completely different from the other individual. So if you go back to the equation, E, which is the event, the traffic jam, out of their control, plus their response to that event is going to determine their outcome. So you've got person A, stressed out outcome, person B, feeling pretty happy. And the reason I love to always mention that example is because this is the power of mindset. You're going to have events in your life that you cannot control. They're going to be happy events. There are going to be grief. There's going to be loss. There's going to be tragedy. I am not saying to ignore feelings and to put on a smiley face all the time, but what I am saying is to just know that your response to that event is your choice and that you can truly choose the outcome that you desire. And once you understand that and really embody that and grasp that, it will decrease your energetic overload so much, and it'll decrease the stress that you're experiencing so much. So with that, those are my tips of loving your liver, why it's so important, and my tips on how you can energetically unload. I hope I have brought some value to you. I hope that you have taken some golden nuggets away from you. And thank you so much, Julie, for giving me the opportunity again to really share my passion of wellness with you and with everyone who is doing this program. So do I need to?
No,
okay.
Thank you. That was phenomenal. So good. I'm super excited. So we had some great guests. Lorianne says, thank you. That was fabulous. So I'm going to just end the recording. So thank you for watching the